Hey folks, wake up. This is Wake Up with Mark Joyner, episode number 84, and today we will talk about getting your groove back. I tell you what, man, most of the time when I do these things, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to me. If you think I'm preaching at you, it ain't about that. It's about me getting my own mind right, and hopefully you will benefit from that. That's all I'm doing. I ain't giving you any advice. I ain't giving you any thoughts that I'm not giving myself. In fact, most of this stuff I am drawing from my own life. For example, today's topic on getting your groove back. So I was kind of out of my groove for a few days there. You can tell that by me not doing my wake up videos. Why was I out of my groove? Well, I had to go and, understandably, I had to fly off and do a few speaking engagements. That kind of, took me out of my rhythm. But this is why I don't do speaking tours now, right? Man, it always takes me out of my game. It takes me out of my groove. It takes me out of my routine. My routine is everything. It's how I'm able to do what I do. If I didn't have a routine, I don't think I would be where I am right now. Why? Because consistency is the thing that allows all of the benefits to compound, to build up. So when I came back on Monday morning, so I've been out of the loop for a few days, right? I hadn't been getting much sleep over the last couple days because when I finished in KL, we finished kind of late, and then I had to get a late flight, and then I had to wake up early the next morning, and then I ended up in Bangkok the next day where my next speaking engagement was. We ended up going on stage late. The event ended late. I was the last guy, being the keynote as usual. So I had to stick around all day, but it was awesome. I had a great time. I ain't complaining about it. I met some fantastic people, by the way, some really, really great folks, and had some great conversations with everybody there while we were kicking around in the green room, waiting for stuff to happen. But then, we after that, I went out and socialized with all the speakers. Then I had a super early flight the next day. So man, I was pretty spent on Monday. And then on Monday, I get a message from Thomas that we can't train, right? So I didn't train on Monday. Left to my own devices, I just kind of, I did work, and I didn't do any physical work. I should have. Now on Tuesday, I was not feeling good, man. By that point, I was getting pretty stiff because I hadn't worked out in several days. I've been working on low sleep. Probably haven't been drinking enough water. No, for sure hadn't been drinking enough water. By the way, this is another reason why I don't like speaking engagements, because I drink so much water, I gotta be on the potty all the time, right? That's how much water I drink. I drink like 6 liters a day. When you're not sure exactly when you're going up on stage, you gotta be very careful about that. You gotta time that correctly. So you end up getting a little bit dehydrated sometimes because you don't wanna be on stage with a potty emergency. That doesn't work out too well when you're doing live public speaking. You can't tell people, and just wait a minute, I'll just go to the bathroom and be right back. They don't have patience for that, right? So I was dehydrated, I was tired, I was out of my groove, and I had not been moving. Now yesterday when Thomas came in and we trained together, in the beginning I was like, oh dude, I'm not feeling this. I'm not ready to get back into training today. And I tell you what, a couple sets into it, I was like, yes, this is what was wrong the whole time. This is why I was feeling off my game, because I had not been moving. I had not been pushing myself physically. I've been pushing myself mentally for sure. Public speaking, especially if you give your all into it, it's intellectually draining, right? But you need physical exertion. You've heard me quote this many times if you've been watching my wake up videos. This is a Paul Chek quote. He says, "The lymphatic system does not have a pump, therefore movement is essential for just basic biological healthy function," right? If you're not moving, your lymphatic system is not stimulated and stuff gets stuck, stuff sits around. And this is why most of us feel crappy all the time. It's one of the reasons why, right? So, but the reaction that we have been trained to get into or to believe is that we need more rest. But often, sometimes when we think we need rest, what we really need is movement. We need both, man. This is the yin and the yang of the universe, right? This is The Taoists, I believe, had this 100% right. You can't be all hard all the time. You can't be all soft all the time. If you're either of those things, you will pay a price. But if you are dancing with the yin and the yang of the universe, with the ebb and flow of things, your life will be more in tune with the way the universe is designed, I think. Okay, it works out extremely well for me. Yesterday, what I needed was not more rest, was not more stiffening of my body, but was to get in there and get my ass moving. I felt so much better after doing that, right? Just a physical movement alone. And Thomas and I are also, working in some psychological conditioning on each other as we do this, right? On top of the physical exertion that we do. And I'll talk to you guys about that at some point. We've got an interesting routine that I've been experimenting with that is helping us tremendously. It's helping us get more focused and stay more focused and to work on our minds. All right, so how do you get back in your groove? It's gonna suck in the beginning. Those first few sets of whatever it is you need to do to get back in your groove, whether it's physical work or intellectual work or whatever, they're gonna be hard. You're going to feel that resistance, but then you're quickly gonna break through that and your body's gonna thank you for flowing. It's gonna thank you for stimulating you. That's the way things go. But you got to get over that initial inertia and you got to stop babying yourself and crying about it when you get back into it. You can't be sitting there going, boo-hoo, this is horrible, all right, because you're going to make it worse on yourself. What you got to do is get in there and harden your mind and say, I have to do this to be able to function in this world. Rather than complain about it, accept it, embrace it. This is the world we are in. And if we don't operate within the rules that appear to be the rules of this universe, this realm that we happen to be in right now, this stage of existence, I don't believe it's our only one, but it's the one we're in right now. And if we resist the rules, if we resist the requirement to push ourselves hard, we're going to suffer more. But if we just embrace it and say, hey, you know what? Maybe the reason we're here is to test ourselves. Maybe we're here to grow, and maybe there's no way things grow without challenge. So how do you get back in your groove? You gotta get over that first initial hump. You gotta change your mind, your attitude about it, and you just gotta get in there and do it and accept that it's what you have to do. You have tried sloth before. You have tried lethargy. You have tried resting yourself into health without movement, without pushing yourself. You know it's not working. You know it's a steady decline down. Rather than get into a steady decline down, push yourself and you can be in a steady decline up even as you are aging, I believe, at least to an extent far greater than we have been told heretofore. I think there's a lot of evidence to show that aging does not have to happen the way most of us think it has to happen for us. But the only way to get into that is to push yourself. You've got to get back into your groove, but you got to get over that hump first. Do it today if I'm talking to you, if this is resonating with you. Don't fuck around and waste time. And I'm not going to apologize for my potty mouth and my bad language. I'm trying to shock you in to doing what you need to do. Now, if this is not you, if this is not for you, don't be offended, right? It's just take it as a reminder. But some of y'all I know, you're not into your workout routines, you're not doing enough work, you're not doing enough whatever. You know you're not, and you know you need to. Get over that hump. All right, talk to y'all tomorrow. You have a beautiful day.